What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Attack on Titan Season 3, baby! We're back at it again, guys. Attack on Titan has finally made its triumphant return, and I'm fucking excited, man. I am super hyped for this season. This episode was just amazing, man. I mean, not really much more I could say other than this was amazing. This was just overall a fantastic fun episode, guys. And I also did record an episode reaction to this episode because I was like, you know what? I saw a couple shots, and I was like, maybe I should do a reaction to this. Looks like we're gonna get some godlike art animation again. I asked my man Platinum if I should do it. He said maybe. And of course, then I found out Afro Centuries did drop reaction, so I was like, alright, because the man only does episode reactions for like the really big stuff. So I was like, alright, let me do a reaction to it. So I did it. Looking back, I will be definitely doing one for next week's episode as well, because that's when we're gonna really get to see that godlike art animation again that we know and love from Wit Studios that we've gotten in the first half of season 3, guys. I'm super excited for it, but enough of me talking about this. Let's just jump straight into this episode and into my review of this week's episode of Attack on Titan. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So we start the episode off. We got some good old recap of what happened in season 1. Of course, the Colossal and the Armored Titan showed up, wrecked up Wall Maria. They had to flee. Yada yada yada. I believe Hanji was the one that was narrating this section. We did get to see some new footage of families who I'm assuming who fled Wall Maria after what happened with Reiner and Bertolt. Living in tents. Some of them living on the street, living on the streets, on walls with signs. All that stuff. Of course, we have season 1. Mikasa facing off against that Titan. Yada 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 yada. And then we hear the line, what if we retook Wall Maria? What would happen? Would humanity finally be why would we finally have the hope that humanity deserves to live? Would we have that back? Would we finally have that hope, that drive? What would we cry out if we did take back Wall Maria? What if? So then we see the crew. We got to see Eren, Mikasa, Armin, Erwin, Bertolt, Levi, the whole guy just walking their horses through the dead of night, they of life, so of course, laying their way over to Wall Maria. After that, we have the OP. Link Horizon is back, and man, does it feel good. I said in my review, now, of course, when I first saw, now you guys remember when I did my review of the first episode of Season 3, all the way back last year, you guys know at first I did not like the OP. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Where's my Link Horizon? Where's my bitchin' rock music? Where's the Sasagio, Shingon Sasagio, so where's my Link Horizon? Of course, we got them in the ED, but of course, as you guys know, as the series went on, the more and more I listened to that beautiful song, the more and more I loved it, and the more and became my favorite OP. Same thing happened with Season 2, and the OP for the second OP of Season 1. I've always been kind of having that feeling of like, oh, okay, this is getting better, better. Now the same thing. Now first of all, I gotta say, I love this OP. I love all the nice little callbacks you can see to previous seasons. I believe there was a clip reused from the Attack on Titan Season 2 ED. There might have been some stuff from Season 1 that was reused as well. Maybe some stuff from I think there was some stuff from Season 2 as well that was reused in Season 1. I didn't really catch much because I was just too busy rocking out to the music and my reaction. So there might have been some other stuff I missed, but I definitely did catch that one time where they reused footage from the ED in Season 2 in here. I've definitely recognized that one. That was about the only callback I really caught. If there was probably some more, tell me down below, guys, which ones you guys noticed. Anyway. And of course, I went back and listened to it a second time after I watched the episode the first time. It's definitely, like I said, I'm loving it more and more and more. I don't know what's with the Link Horizon or Attack on Titan general OP. Some OPs I first started loving, and then I just love them more and more the more I listen to them. I don't know why that's the case with Attack on Titan. The OPs always, every time I listen to them again and again, the more I end up loving them. I don't know what's up with Attack on Titan, how it always has that effect with me. With their OPs, anyway. So I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, so back to the actual episode itself. So everyone started to, just walking their horses. One dude, I think, trips, or his horses get a little too rowdy. He drops his light. Levi's like, "Hey man, you're supposed to be lighting the way." He's like, "Oh, sorry, sir." Picks up his light. Got Aaron out there. Then we get back to Aaron and guys. And Aaron's like, "Sorry, because you gotta hold my horse." And he's like, and because I was like, you need to save up on your end. You need to rest up, and and of course got Connie being like, "Yeah, Aaron, you need to rest up, man." Jean. I don't know how you pronounce his name. It sounds like Sean, and other times it sounds like John. I don't know. John or Sean, John. I don't know how the hell you pronounce this dude's damn name. But you got him like, "Hey man, don't say Aaron's name." Of course, because people want him, because of course, he is now the most powerful Titan shifter, because of course, what happened with his father, we saw in the first half of season 3. So anyway, after that, then we get back to Aaron. He's holding the light. So I don't even know what they meant by rest up. Like, is he supposed to be all like on top of his horse, just sleeping? Like, how's a man supposed to rest up other than just let's by rest up they mean just, hey, just keep walking? Well, Mika says that's to hold your horse, or I guess the little, I don't know what the thing people use when they ride horses. I don't know what the hell that thing's called. Just holding that. So anyway. Back to what scene. So then we see Aaron's arm, and he's shaking like a crack addict. You can tell it's in his arm. He's shaking like crazy. And Aaron's like, "Well, what the hell am I? Why am I shaking? What am I scared for?" And then he starts self-doubting himself. I'm like, well, am I really the one that? Am I even really ready to do this? Can I save humanity? Am I even prepared? Can I do this? Am I even worthy? Like, if I fail, would all of humanity lose hope forever? We'll never get another chance at this. He's doubting himself, self-doubting himself. And then Armin comes in there, be like, "Hey, Aaron, why you okay, man? Why are you shaking?" He starts, he just straight up just grabs his arm to stop him shaking. Because it picked up on that. Then Aaron comes in there, he's like, "Hey, man, are you scared? Why are you shaking?" And he's like, "Huh? Scared? Ha! I'm Aaron Yeager, motherfucker. The only emotion I know is pissed off." That's my only emotion, is just anger. Damn those Titans, I will kill them all! I will kill all the Titans! If this was season 1, Aaron, that's what I'd be saying, but of course, as we learned, Aaron has changed in season 3. I just had to throw that in there. But anyway. So, back to what I was saying. Armin tells him about. So then Armin tries to calm his nerves a little bit. I remember when I first saw Titan, I could not move a muscle, and yet there I was in that Titan mouth. Then you came in there and saved me. How did you do that? How did you have that much strength? How did you find the strength to do that? And then he's like, "I remember when you showed me that book," and I'm assuming that was the first time Armin showed Aaron, showed him because by that point, before that, Aaron had no real qualms about the outside world. He could care less about the outside world. He was just sitting there watching the clouds in the sky. Did not really have any thoughts or ventures about going and exploring the outside world, finding the ocean, finding the desert, all that stuff. He was just, just chilling there, minding his own business. Then Armin came in there, breathing with life, with that book, talking about all the other cool stuff you see in the outside world. And once he realized that, he realized he wasn't free. And by that point, I realized I could never forgive those unthinking fiends. I think, I don't know. I didn't read the whole stuff. I wasn't really. I couldn't catch all the subtitle, but I'm pretty sure it said unthinking fiends. And after I realized, and when I saw that, my freedom was taken away by them. I realized I could never forgive them, and that's why he did what he did. He draws from strength, and by this point, Aaron's arm starts shaking. He's like, "Thanks, Armin." He's like, "Yeah, man, no problem." And so then they keep walking. Then Aaron sees this Titan just sitting there chilling against a rock. And he's like, "Whoa, Titan on your left. And everyone got the light up to them, and then the Titan's not moving. He's just sitting there. And he's not moving, and then Hans is like, "Oh, don't worry, he's fast asleep, leave him be." And then she was like, "But I wish he was one of those moonlight Titans." Oh well, that's a shame. I love Hanji, man. And so then Hanji talks about these new type of Titans that happened. Like I don't think I don't think we've seen these Titans before. Although I think we might have actually saw them back in season 2, where she explains how because as we know, Titans do not move in when it's nighttime. If I'm remembering season 1 right, I'm pretty sure Hanji said back in like season 1 that Titans, or it might have been season 2, that Titans do not move at night. They don't. They just, they only walk in the day and they sleep during the night. And so then, and as we know, light, and then she also says moonlight reflects light. So she assumes that these moonlight Titans use whatever light has been reflected and use that as their guideline. Because I'm pretty sure, because I think that's what happened with the Ymir was, it was around where it was still a little bit of nightfall, but Titans were still moving. So I think that might have been the first time we saw these moonlight Titans. And Hanji, of course, being Hanji, is like, oh man, I wish I could see one of those things, and experiment and dissect it, Hanji being Hanji, of course, we all love Hanji. So one of the dudes picks up and say, hey, and then Mikasa says, wait a minute, I recognize this area, and this was the area where she would pick up firewood, which also, by the way, in case, speaking of Mikasa, you guys know that I reviewed episode 3, the final episode of the Attack on Titan Lost Girls OVA. If you guys are curious about that, definitely go check it out. The episode itself was fucking amazing. I loved how that episode did a really damn good job at explaining Eren and Mikasa's relationship to make it make a lot more sense. Now, I'm sure maybe the anime itself might talk about this later on in the series, because I know they're probably going to keep whatever happens with Annie for the main series, because they dropped a couple of hints here and there in the Lost Girls OVA for that, but all the juicy bits I'm sure is saving for the anime itself. But yeah, I think it might have, that whole episode might have just been a dream sequence inside Mikasa's head. I think, I don't know, because when I look at it, when I think it's more about it, looks like it might have been a dream. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So then one of the dudes says, hey, I say hi, Wall Maria, we're here, we're at Wall Maria. Or was it Shiganshina? No, I think it was Shiganshina. I've been saying Wall Maria all this time. Or was it Wall Maria? Fuck, I can't even remember what wall it was. Anyway, they find the wall, and so and we get these nice little aerial shots of the wall. And and then everyone tells them, get on horseback, and then they're all charging towards the wall. And oh my god, the art animation here, fucking phenomenal, guys. Okay, I went back and rewatched the first part of the episode with the whole little recap. And it is indeed Wall Maria. I was right, it was Wall Maria. Had a weird little brain fart back there. Anyway. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so back to the episode itself. So they get to the wall. Everyone's, of course, making their ways over to the wall. When we see everyone, I love Armin's talk about, and then what was his name? Shit, his name slipped my mind. Erwin, there it was. Erwin, his name was slipping my mind for a second. Erwin, he gives off his plan. We see a map of Wall Maria. You see that their goal is to plug up both the inner wall and the outer walls. Of course, with Eren, they're going to tackle, I believe it was the inner wall first, which we will see this episode. With Eren, have him use his time form with the new shell he just unlocked to, of course, do it. When they get, and so we see that, and also he comes up with a backup plan, because, as we mentioned earlier, I believe it was John told him, hey, don't mention Eren's name, the enemy might find out. Which one of us is yes, so to combat them, they're all wearing hoods, all 100 of the soldiers are all wearing hoods, so even if the enemy finds out which one's Eren, by that point he's going to have the outer wall already plugged up. And so then we get this, and then Eren's making his way over to the outer wall. I love when Levi gets there, he spans the ground top of his horse, pulls out his 2 blades, and then just does those stylistic, little flips he does, it was absolutely great shit, man, absolutely great shit. I fucking loved it, man. So after that, so then we get to Eren. He's making our way to the wall. Before that, they're now all on top of the wall. I believe they're by the inner wall. I think, or maybe it might have been the outer wall. Once they get there, they Yeah, yeah. I had to think about. I'm not thinking about the episode. I had to make sure I got my facts straight about the timeline of the episode. They get on top of the wall. They're looking around there. Aaron's just kind of sitting there by the wall, just kind of sitting there looking at Wall Mario, seeing all the destruction after about what's it been like a few years since we've last seen Wall Mario back in season 1, seeing all the destruction around the wall. Levi's like, come on, keep moving, we gotta plug up the wall. He's like, right. So him and Mikasa make their way over there, keep running. Armin's on their tail, but then he notices something. He sees like this black soot or like this black stuff on the wall that's remnants of a fire. And then of course we saw this in the OP. We see Aaron, we see Reiner and Bjertal just kind of sitting there drinking, the third guy drinking something on top of the fire, but by a fire on top of the wall. So there was that. So we know that was definitely Reiner, Bjertal, and whoever the new guy is. And so he tells Arwen about this. He tells him to look over it and investigate a little bit further on the bottom to see what more, just to investigate a little bit more. And so we get back to Aaron. He's making his way up the wall. He's starting to he's like he's looking at the wall. He's seeing like, oh yeah, my house was a little bit over there. That's where everything changed. And then he's like, oh, man, this guy right there looks back at Mikasa. He's like, all right, I can do this. So, you get those, oh my god, the shots here. Oh my god, the art animation was godlike. I swear to god, Crunchyroll better nominate Attack on Titan this time for Best Art Animation, because for whatever reason they were sleeping on Attack on Titan last year. They better not make that same mistake again this year, because this art animation is already fucking fine, man. So we see Aaron use his ODM gear to fly right over the wall, spin to a nice little spin before his hood falls down by that point, bites his thumb, turns into a Titan. It was so fucking badass, man. I fucking loved every second of it, man. It was so fucking good. So good. So then Aaron goes into his Titan form, plugs up the wall, but pulls it right before the crystal, I guess, gets him too. Plugs up the wall, and he is good. So then Mikasa comes in there, grabs him, picks him up, puts him on top of the wall with Hanji. They look over on the other side of the wall to make sure it's completely plugged up. All the other guys on both sides fire up green smoke bullets or whatever, green smoke flares, I guess. They're green with their green smoke signals. So the wall's plugged up. They're good. And they're good. Hanji asks him, "Hey, Aaron, you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then we notice, and he's like, getting like a less piece of ice off his body. But we notice that Aaron's wearing shoulder pads. And we see this with Mikasa when she gets off his cloak and puts it on. When she takes off her cloak and puts it on Aaron, they're all wearing shoulder pads. Why would they be wearing shoulder pads? We'll get to that in a minute. Then we'll get that. That'll come back. That looks like it's gonna come back later on in the episode, and we can also get from what we see in the OP. So So here's that's good. So anyway. And so after that, they're just kind of sitting around, just looking around, being like, it is far too quiet in here. Like, we have plugged up the outer wall. When you plug in the outer wall, you can see Bjertal kind of just like peeking out like this little hole he's in there, watching Aaron do it. And then you got a Reiner just sitting in the background, covered in shadows. It's fucking awesome, man. So everyone's just kind of like, it's far too quiet in here. Why haven't there been any enemy attacks? Why aren't they here? So then Armin comes back to Erwin, tells them that he found 3 cups, drinking something that looked like black tea. It was a black liquid. If I had to guess, they were probably drinking coffee. If I had to assume, it was probably coffee. 3 cups. The pot was completely cool, and that's about it. That's what he found. So then he was like, wait a minute, the pot was completely cool? And he's like, yeah. So, but the only way they could have seen us, but if they saw us through either sight or sound, they would only have 2 minutes to prepare, and no way in hell a pot will cool that quickly. And then the guy sitting next to that's with Armin, I love when he says, "Put the door," I just couldn't help but start laughing a little bit at that scene. Anyway, so after that, Aaron. So he's like, okay, so that if there was 2, they couldn't have seen us, so they must have known we were coming. And so they must have known as 5 minutes or later, which was plenty of time for the pot to cool, as well as them for all to hide and prepare a sneak attack, just waiting for their moment to strike against us. So Erwin kind of tells Armin he's in command, or at least like he tells him, "Hey man, we're gonna need that big brain of yours that has saved us from countless disasters. We're gonna need it again here. You have access to all the soldiers you need, and give them your orders." And then he tells you're all in the command as you're commanding off that Armin is your commanding officer now. Armin looks like he's about to have a fucking heart attack at this current moment. I loved it, man. And so you have the soldiers be like, "What is your order, sir?" It's like, he regains himself. Like, okay, search around the inside the houses and the interiors near the wall, and come back with anything you find with like I think it was an caustic shell. I think he said. He's like, "All right." It's like, "Roger!" And they all just jump, and they all, of course, do what they were told. And of course, do their best and search near the interior of the wall and inside the houses to find the soldiers, to find if any of the enemies are kind of hiding there. I just found that hilarious, man. Armin over here on command, he's like, I was laughing like crazy, man. Anyway. And then you got the dude sitting next to Armin. I honestly don't know I honestly don't remember this dude's name. I'm pretty sure he was in the first half of season 3, but I don't remember. So he tells him, like, is this another one of those big gambles of yours? And he's like, nah. Armin has proven himself to be worthy of this honor, because as we know, Armin is pretty much the smartest guy that the scouts have. He has saved these guys from countless disasters. Even when you play the Attack on Titan video game to keep this up, where like his special move or like specialty with his character in the game is that he can control that. He can have the soldiers can pinpoint different parts of Titan's body and and command them to do that. That's fair, but that's also in the game as well. So even in the game they also put that there as well. So yeah, as we know, Armin also recognizes Erwin recognizes that Armin is like the smartest guy they have in the scout, and one of their biggest weapons, along with Eren, and probably also Mikasa with Levi, because we know those guys know their way around that ODM gear. So everyone's looking around the interiors trying to figure out where the enemies are. And then Armin is like about to have, like I said, the man's like on the verge of having a heart attack in this episode. He's like, we can never figure where the Titans are. They're always thinking outside the box. They're always thinking of ways to attack us when we never even thought of. It's because we just don't know anything about Titans. And then he looks up, and in the wall, we see the Titan that's kind of just chilling inside the wall from season 1. And I legit thought the Titan was just chilling there. I legit thought Armin was legit looking at a Titan, but no, it looks like he didn't. He just kind of had, there was just kind of like a vision or something he had. I don't know what you would call it, of that they might be inside the wall. And that's when Armin, does the smoke signal, calls the rest of the guys, and he tells them to search the wall. And then one of the guys is like, "No, we already searched the walls. No way for them to hide." No, search inside the walls. They might be hiding in there. There might be a hole or somewhere they can hide. And one of the dudes is like, "How the hell do you know this?" And the look on Armin's face, dear God, he says, "A hunch." What? A hunch? We ain't got time to waste our time on hunches. And then Armin shows up there, fires a red smoke signal, which means halt the mission. And he's like, "There are times to be strict and times to be flexible. Respect the order of command." And of course, and then Armin grabs his balls out of his purse and uses them. And says, "Everyone search inside the walls, look for anything inside of you, you're going to find them, and if you find anything, you'll use a smoke signal. Go, 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 go!" Commence start switching to 2 groups, and like, "Roger!" Of course, they all start as well. They go down, they all have sections of the walls to go down, they all just kind of like tap around the wall, looking for anything. So then they keep doing that. Eren and Mika start chilling on top of the wall. And then after that, one of the other dudes, then we see like these obvious cracks in the wall that were super obvious when you look at them. And then one dude's like, "Here's something different." He's like, and then he fires out a smoke signal, and of course he found them. Then Reiner comes out there, stabs a dude with like one of those ODM gear swords. I don't even know what the hell these things are even called. Stabs him with it. He falls down. Then Levi comes out of nowhere, charges down there, is straight up running down the wall, stabs Reiner in the neck, and then pulls out the like little trigger thing out from the sword, grabs his other sword, plunges it straight into his chest, and then we see his eyes roll back from the back of his head back down to where they are. Levi just kicks him off, has him flying down the ground. He's like, damn it, I almost so close, but I couldn't kill him. And so I don't know how he survived that. Literally the sword straight up right in his neck. I don't know why he didn't just continue and just decapitate him, But once he hits the ground, he turns into the beast. He turns into the beast type, or not the beast type, the armor type. That of course is indeed based off the legends of the Beast Incarnate, the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar! Sorry, I have to go a little Paul Heyman for a second. Excuse me. Oh man. Thank God Brock Lesnar is no longer the Universal Champion. Thank the Lord! I'm sick and tired of that dude having championships. Anyway. So back to what I say. So, Bertold Reiner, Jesus Christ! Man, I'm having a bunch of brain farts today. So, Reiner turns into the Armored Titan, the Armored Titan, and of course, by this point, then we see a bunch of other Titan shifters appear. We had the Beast Titan, we didn't see the Colossal, but we saw the Beast Titan and a bunch of random other Titans, and the Beast Titan grabs his boulder and throws it over to the wall, hits where Aaron, were plugged to the wall, blocking the entrance so horses can't get out of there, and this was all, and I'm assuming this was all according to everyone's plan. This is him like Yagami when he got rid of the depth and lost his memories, then gained it back from a little part of a paper that's inside the watch, and said, all according to plan. That sounds like how Erwin was. He was like, this is all according to plan. We both knew this was coming. And then he becomes a purpose like a promoter being like, who will win? Who will perish? Humanity or Titans? The final battle to decide the victor once and for all. Great stuff. And so, and like I said, he also says that we're not and earlier on in the episode he said we also have a little secret in our own back pocket. Now judging from the OP and judging from everyone's rocking shoulder pads, I'm assuming there's probably some new ODM gear type weapons that we see that are a lot more, that are more short range to kill Titans quicker maybe. I don't know how these new devices are going to work that we saw in the OP, but it looks like they're going to probably be very deadly against these guys. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully next we'll find out how these things work. I don't know, but we'll find out then, hopefully. So overall, guys, I would give this week's episode a 10 out of 10, guys. Fucking amazing. I'm super excited for next week's episode. Definitely going to be reacting to that one as well. Drop a reaction to that one as well, guys. So anyway, as far as what I think of the ED, I think the song itself is great. The ED itself is amazing. I love it. Definitely can't wait to listen to it more. Anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.